Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Triomphe Medium Indoor-Outdoor Sconce. This is the 32031. This is going to be the middle one. There's also a smaller one, which we actually have here, and we're going to use this as the sample when we kind of go over little details. But there's also a larger one too, so check them all out. Watch the videos on all of them. Okay, so the one we're talking about today is a 24-inch tall, and remember, this is the smaller one, but we're going to use it kind of as a sample. So from the bottom to the top, 24 inches, 9.5 inches wide. From the wall coming out is only 4.6 inches, so it's pretty flush to the wall, which means you can use this in lots of applications like stairways or hallways, all kinds of places like that where you're afraid of people just running into something. This is going to be pretty flush. 4.6 is very good in our world. Mounting height, that's the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of your electrical outlet box. This is what it's going to be hanging on, is coming in just at 12 inches. And how we can see that is we happen to have a mounting bracket here. So this is, remember, this is the smaller one. We're talking about the larger one in the scope of things, but it's the same idea. 12 inches from the bottom of the fixture to here's where your wires are going to be going onto your J-box. Very simple. To show you more details about this, let's look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations, instructions, PDF. Open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. And there's not a lot of parts to put together. It's going to be a bunch of screws, glass, a little rubber retaining ring that's going to kind of keep the water from getting inside to the socket area. And it's going to have this plate and the fixture itself. That's pretty much it for parts. But anyway, it shows you a lot of good information. It shows you details of the back of the fixture, and it shows you details about the mounting plate on the back. Okay, let's get into glass really quick. It's going to be offered to you in two different types of glass. One of them is going to be like this, which is opal. I'll talk more about opal later in the video. That's an opaque glass, so you're not going to be able to see what's going on as far as bulbs go. The other one's going to be called seated clear, and that's a clear glass with little tiny air bubbles in it. And on that one, you might want to be more specific about the bulbs that you're going to get, because you're going to be able to see them. So instead of just going for something that's going to be hiding inside an opal piece of glass, you might go for something kind of pretty. It could be like a flame tip, and they do make the medium base, and this is a medium base, right? Just screws right in. This is a BT15 halogen. This is kind of the recommended bulb to use in this if you're going to be trying to get the max light out of it. But you have a lot of other things you could do. They do make these medium base bulbs in like a pretty flame tip, and you can find those all over the place as an LED. Not a problem there. There's really no limit to what you can put into this when you get into LEDs. You can try out all kinds of bulbs, and we have a whole bunch of them right here. So I've got this guy here. This is a A19. This is a A15. So you can use all kinds of different LEDs that are out in the world and just try them. You're going to be buying LEDs anyway, so you might as well just buy a whole bunch of them and try to see which ones are going to work for you. Your only limit with LEDs is can they get into the glass, so don't be afraid to try different things. The other thing about LEDs, they're going to be offered to you in all different types of colors as far as the light coming out of the LED. Talk about it in every video. These are going to be offered to you in something called 2700 Kelvin or 2700 K. That's going to be that super yellow light, which could look pretty in this depending on where you're going to be putting it. They're also going to offer these bulbs to you in something called daylight, which sounds like it should be warm, but it is not warm. That is a cold hospital waiting room light, like overcast day. That's going to be a 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is called warm light, warm white, or soft white. That is 3,000 Kelvin, and that's what we use all over the place in here. Light coming down on me right now, this is 3,000 Kelvin, a nice warm glow. So this mimics basically incandescent light that I grew up with. That's why we like it so much. So it's also a dimmable fixture. If you're going to be putting this in a situation, maybe around a pool or maybe a screened-in porch, and you might want to dim it down so you can have coffee with your friends late into the evening. Dim it down so you can actually get these to look like candlelight if you want to. So just make sure that when you're out there looking, it says dimmable on that box. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world at Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.